guys, it's Mickey Pascarella, and I am thrilled to be recording here in South Philadelphia, Passyunk Square, specifically, and launching our brand new podcast today called Back in the Day. And so the story is that we work in real estate, and over the last 13 years or so, we've helped dozens, if not hundreds, of people move into neighborhoods, and one of them that we're focusing on today is Passyunk Square. And what we found is that the new neighbors moving in express a certain excitement, a real excitement about becoming a new part of the neighborhood, and they've got things to share with their new neighbors, which creates a bond and creates an experience that if things go well, lasts for a lifetime. And what we realized was that the story of the new neighbors were being told as they moved in, and what was not being told is the stories of the older neighbors who were moving out. And we wanted to change that. And so this podcast is an effort to record and archive the stories of some of our most beloved neighbors who have really spent literally 40, 50, sometimes 60 years in the houses, creating neighborhoods and by default, and sometimes really intentionally, creating great stories and great memories. In fact, you'll hear some stories going forward of these recordings taking place in the house they live in now, which is the house they were also literally born in. And so that gives us goosebumps when we talk about how much history is in some of these recordings. We're starting today with an exciting podcast with Anthony, who lives in Passyunk Square in South Philadelphia on Isaminger Street, and we're super excited to dig in.
All right, so we got Rochelle, my assistant, Anthony, and me. Anthony, thanks again for taking the time.
Yeah, no problem. I'm back. I worked with international people. I did international for 35 years.
In what capacity?
I was the international manager for Roche. You know Roche?
Okay. Oh, yeah, sure.
They had a division in Philadelphia, and in 1964, I'm 75. I'm going to be 77 in like a month.
You sound great.
Jeez.
Yeah,
and
you're still working?
Roche, yeah, but I got a good deal. I mean, I always had. My deal is good. My deal is like training the new guys.
Yeah.
That's
good
the
for
good
you.
part. The bad part is Sunday night. It's 13 hours ahead of us in Japan.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So it's 7 or 8 o'clock at Sunday night. Japan's already open.
and you're on call.
Well, no, I make arrangements with all the reps to call me at certain times, and then we go online. And all I'm doing is sales training now. I'm not traveling anymore.
Okay, got it. Good for you.
I told them no way. So they give me a piece of the. I get a commission on total sales for the world.
Whoa!
I know.
That's a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah, I always did, pretty good. But anyway, that's what I do, and then in a little while I'll turn it over. My family keeps saying, "Why don't you do something?" What do you want me to do? I've been around the world exactly 34 times.
Wow. Well, you know what too is sometimes you say, "What are you still working for?" You know what? This is who you are.
I know. I have fun with these guys, and not only that, I got news for you. I'm an investor, because I invest in equities stuff,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But a lot of times I know before they announce stuff in the news what's going on in Sweden. That's my dealers or my reps that work for Roche. I'm on the phone with them like the night before. 4 o'clock in the morning here is 10 o'clock in the morning in Sweden.
Got it.
So they're already working and stuff like that. And
so the news is out there, and you're jumping right on it.
And I'm on it,
Yeah.
So here's basically the things that I can help you out with.
Please.
I can go from Broad Street, where the bank is. What's that? Used to be PSFS, but now I think it's
Citizens on the corner there, yeah.
Okay.
Citizen, yeah.
That's Broad and McKean.
Yep.
I could walk you straight through what it used to be like, what it looked like. I could walk you through the stores in block number 1, McKean to Mifflin, Mifflin to Moore, Moore to Morris, and Morris to Tasker.
You would know them all?
Yeah, not all the stores, but the big ones, the ones that count.
Yeah.
So I could give you today's counterpart of the store, okay? For instance, like what I mean by counterpart is the on Morris Street, Passyunk and Morris, the store they're fixing up now, the gym. I think it's a gym or a health center. I don't know what it. I mean, they're still working on it. Right there on Morris, across the street from Bira.
Oh yeah, that I don't know what that's going to be. The old furniture store. I don't know who's doing that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're working on it. I know they got the side blocked off. Doing work.
They're down 8 feet. They dug the basement out.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're doing there, but that used to be Woolworths. So
that was Woolworths.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought the Rite Aid on Broad was Woolworths.
No. That was Kresge's.
Ah, got it.
I'm
glad I got a real pro right here.
You what?
I'm getting bad information from some other people. I'm glad I got you.
I know you got some bad stuff.
I got some bad information.
What do they know?
Apparently
but anyway, I could go that way. Then I could give you, I could give you like the old store and what it was and what the new one is.
Yep.
I can give you that. I can give you what did the street physically look like? You know, when you walked down the street, what did you see?
Yeah.
I can give you the, you know, like the area, like what the kids used to do, like the games they played in those days. I can give you all that sort of stuff. I can give you the way of life of people. I could give you the traditions for handling different events, like the Mummers Day Parade and Halloween and Thanksgiving and Easter and Christmas. I can give you all of that stuff. I could tell you like where all the food stores were and stuff like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, just for this podcast, if you're okay with it, I would be fascinated if you would give me the two things. Give me what the kids used to do,
okay,
and what the block used to feel like.
Passyunk Avenue block.
Yes. Yep.
It's 5 blocks long. It ends at Triangle, as far as we were concerned.
Yep. That was it. So the Triangle, that was it.
Well, that's what we figured, you know. But I mean, because in the next block, going northeast, would be is the cheesesteak place, the Pat's.
Yep.
You know, so the Triangle was.
Reed.
Yeah.
That was done. That's
that was. In fact, it's still mostly residential. You know.
Agreed. Yep.
Yeah, it still is.
That Pat's block is weird. It's residential, and then it's like automotive places, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly. And but basically the kids, after school every day, the kids would play their games. You know, I mean, 3 o'clock you got home, and you were out in the street. There were a million kids up every street, and the games. I was trying to think of some of the games they played. I mean, talk about. I'm not sexist. Tell your lady friend there. I'm not a sexist, but they did basically separate each other. The boys from the girls. Yeah,
that was pretty common. Sure.
Yeah, it was common, and it was kind of like the girls played. And I hate to say this because I'm like so progressive. I'm not like a progressive politician, but I mean I'm on top of things. And you know, I've been to like dinners with queens up Sweden and Holland.
Wow.
And, so
you've done some traveling. You're worldly, literally worldly.
Well, yeah. I mean, but you know, the thing is, I could never afford to not be politically correct. I've been that way for 35 years.
Well said. Well said.
When I say something, I don't want anyone on the who's hearing me to be offended.
Your intents are absolutely out there in a positive way. Thank you for
the way
saying
it
that.
was. So the girls played a game called hopscotch. That was where, you know that you draw the long thing with 1 to 10, and you. And then they played jacks.
Okay.
Jacks. I don't even know how you play it. You bounce a ball and throw these metal things around.
You got to bounce the ball, and while the ball's in the air, pick up the jacks, right?
Oh, okay, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
And then, of course, skates. They all had, and they didn't have skates that were parts of, with shoes. They were, you had to screw them onto your.
Oh, yes.
A skate.
You had those. Yep.
Yeah, you had skate tees. And then they played something called double dutch, which was a jumping rope.
Yep.
So they played that. And then whenever the girls and the boys did get together, like at a party, they played spin the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
You heard that game, right?
Oh, sure. Yep.
Okay, spin the bottle. And then the boys, we were outside playing with scooters, which we made out of a soda box.
You made the scooters. That's awesome.
Yeah, the scooters were made out. See, in those days, they used real wooden boxes to deliver bottles of soda.
Okay.
Not cardboard.
Yep.
And they were made of wood. And you would get a piece of 2x4, about maybe, I guess, 3 feet long or something like that. And you would nail it on the bottom of the box, or the box would be nailed to the 2x4. And then you'd get one of those skates that you had and break it apart, I think. Not break it, I think you pulled them apart. And you would nail them onto the 2x4. And you put a couple handles of wood on the top of the box, and you had a scooter.
And you had a scooter. Now, when you took apart the skate piece for your that went on your shoe, took it apart and used it for the scooter, could you put it back together and use it on your feet, or that was done?
No, that was done.
Okay.
You had to get an old skate that was broken, maybe, or one of them was broken, and you
recycled skate.
Recycled skates.
Got
it. So we played games like that, but the social idea of what that was all meaning, I figured out now, is that we learned early how to get along with other people. See, now
isn't that a thing?
The kids our age who were doing those things turned out that a guy from South Philly sitting down to dinner with a queen is not exactly normal.
Mm-hmm.
We knew how to get along.
Yeah.
Now, younger kids know how to get along with a computer or with your phone or with a smartphone.
Yeah.
See, and because you go up the streets, and you live down there, you walk up the streets, and there's nobody up the streets at 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
That's true. Or if they are, they're looking down at their phones and running into trash cans and bumping into other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, that played a big part in the development of children that were born. I was born in 43.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm more than, I think I was a few years, the baby boom didn't begin until 46. That was
right, after the war. Sure,
after the
war.
World War.
Yep.
And it lasted, if you want to use a generation measurement, it would be 20 years. And it ended, I guess, in 66.
Early 60 or mid-60s, right?
Yeah. So that would be your baby boom. So that particular group of people went on to pretty good success, I would think so. And we got along with everyone. So that's how the games were. And we played the belt, like Hide the Belt. I don't know if you ever heard that one.
No, tell me that.
Hide the Belt was one where you had a home area, usually one of those blocks on the sidewall. That was I forget the name of it, but that was like the safe zone. I'll call it a safe zone. Okay. We had a name. It'll come back to me. That safe zone was where you had to run to.
Was it base?
Yeah, like a base.
Base. Yep.
Okay. And then, so the kids would go and hide a belt. He would be the bad guy, and you had to go find the belt. Now, he was out of the game once he hid the belt. He had to go back to the home base.
Got it.
But all the other kids had to go up the street and find it. It could be anywhere. It could be in somebody's screen door. It could be anybody, whatever.
Somewhere on the street, under a car.
Exactly.
Got it. In a flower pot. Yep.
Anywhere. Once you got the belt, you could smack everybody along the way until they got back to the home base. Because when they got to the home base, and they were safe, you couldn't smack them on the rear end. And all those years, no one ever got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about kids that were like 7 and 8 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were little tykes and so forth.
But if you could slow somebody down and catch them long enough, you could give them a good licking with that belt.
Oh, they would be running down the street, and if they were slower than you, you'd be whipping. You would be whipping one guy all the way down, and if someone else, it was a hell of a game. Then there was another game. Yeah, there was another game called Buck. Did you ever hear that one?
No, what was it called?
Buck, like in dollar.
Okay, got it. Bucked up. Yep.
Okay.
Bucked up.
So you had 2 teams. No, Buck, double.
Buck. Okay, got it. Yep.
Had 2 names. It was Buck and Buck.
Got it.
Buck was, you had teams. So it could be played with like as little as like 3 or, no, not 3, it's too few, like 5 people, say. Okay, so you had 10 people. One guy, 2 or 3 of them would put their arms around each other's waist and bend over a 90-degree angle,
Mm-hmm.
And so you were standing on your feet, and you were like an L upside down.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another guy behind you and another guy behind you. But the other 3 guys would have to run from across the street and try and hop on this little bridge that your team made.
Okay.
And that was called Buck. And you have to yell, Buck number 1 is coming. And you kind of jump. And you try to jump and leap up high. So when you landed, you cross. If they fell, they lose.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Wow,
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, that was.
Or the hide the belt. Those are 2 unique ones, at least to this interviewer.
Yeah. And then during the winter months, we would have snow forts. We would build forts, quite elaborate. We had fires in our forts and stuff like that.
Like fires in your forts?
Yeah, we're not talking about some little thing put together.
Yeah.
This was like a day event. We had some parts of it had a roof. We tried some cardboard and put a roof on it, and build a little hole in the ground and throw some papers in there and burn them and stuff like that.
That's great.
None of this was aimed at destroying anything.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, even the parents would agree to it,
So we're at our first break. Thanks for listening so far. It's now super clear to me why that the game with the belt has not lived on and made it into the next generation of neighbors. It's probably a pretty good thing, yet fascinating to hear about. Again, this is Mickey Pasquarella recording from Passyunk Square, South Philadelphia, and talking about documenting the back in the day stories of what it used to be like in Passyunk Square. Next week, tune in for a fascinating look of what roller skates used to be like. These days we've got hoverboards, battery powered, and skateboards and one wheels where it's just one tire with batteries and you stand on the side and these things go pretty 30, 40 miles an hour sometimes, it seems like. That's today. Back in the day, we had roller skates that looked really quite a bit different. And so Anthony talks about some of the transportation modes for the kids back in the day. So come back and join us next time. Thanks for tuning in.